All right, I am going live daily. So this is Stephanie with the Whisper Dragonfly Tarot. I'm trying out the ghosts so that I can bring you the information at the same time, um, let you engage with it. Okay, so today we're going to look at the soulmate cycle. It is the full moon. So depending where you live in the world, full moon will be tonight, I think Pacific time at like 9:34, or tomorrow early morning kind of thing. So we're in the energies of the full moon. I believe it's in Libra, so there's balance, harmony. And what's been on me is to look at the soulmate cycle. How is this full moon energy affecting the soulmate cycle? So the soulmate cycle is for those who are in, let me see if I can adjust this a little bit here, who are in I'll call it like a higher spiritual or learning and growth relationship. Some people will call this twin flame, divine flame, soulmate. Regardless, it's an energy that is here to help us to grow, to enlighten, to balance ourselves, and if we're lucky, also have a romantic relationship with that person. And so I really wanted to look into the energies of your person, how this full moon is affecting all of you guys. Hello, I can't see who just joined. Welcome. So we're looking at the soulmate cycle and how the full moon is affecting that. So please do engage in the comments. We're going to look into it. I'm going to get an overall energy for the relationship. Hi, sweetie. How are you? So let's get to it. So we're going to look at this cycle. Now, I will say what I've noticed in this cycle is that the divine feminines have really been coming into their own, coming into their Empress energy in tarot speak, really moving into this state of leadership and even entrepreneurial skills. There's been a lot of creativity around the divine feminine. The divine masculine, it feels like they are moving through some things. I'm noticing in my own experience, moving through old patterns, patterns of the family, moving through their own fears about leveling up, maturing, regardless of age. There's a maturation process that's happening with the divine masculine and in all of us, of course. And I'm noticing that they are getting over some of the superficial things, the 3D, oh, well, it's got to look like this, or it's got to be this checklist. It's almost like the divine masculine for the last 6 months or so has really been doing kind of the divine feminine's way of being, like where we had the old checklist. You have to fit this mold. And I'm noticing that that doesn't work on either side. These type of relationships open us up to ourselves, mirror us, allow us to move forward. And so I will say that the main energy that I'm getting here, though, is respect. So I do feel like respect is flowing on both sides, even if you're in no contact. But we're going to look at how this full moon's affecting overall energy for the two of you. Okay. All right, they wanted 4 of these. Okay, so we will. All right, we have the crystal keys. So you guys have keys for each other. That is pretty understated. It is a 22, which is a master number. 2 yields down to a 4. So both of you are working through your polarities at this time, allowing the polarities to exist. We don't get rid of polarity, right? You don't go too far into your feminine or masculine energy. You allow them to be a bonded pair and magnetize to each other. Otherwise, you're repelling one another, right? So this is saying that we have the crystal keys to open up the next levels of information, downloads with each other. We have life force energy. So where there has been stuck energy in the relationship and within yourself, this full moon is intending on balance. It is in Libra. Okay, so you are going to feel the flow of the energy. If you've been in no contact with your person, It's not saying as of yet, we'll have to look further in that they're necessarily going to contact you, but you are going to feel them more. So you may be noticing that you've been seeing them in your dreams more often. You've been noticing that there's a flow, like maybe they had gotten pretty kind of quiet energetically, and now that life force energy is starting to flow again. Part of it, that is the energies around April and the spring, and we're in Aries season right now, so there's a lot of forward moving energy that's happening. We have vulnerability and we have surrender. Okay, so I do feel like April, there is surrender on both sides happening. I feel like for the divine masculine of this pair, gender matters not, but just the one with the more masculine energy, there is a massive amount of surrender that's happening. And there's also surrender on the divine feminine side to be vulnerable, say what you need, even if you're just saying it to universe, but letting it go, surrendering it to universe so that you can just flow and things can flow into you, right? So we have this situation where sometimes when we have these more intense soulmate cycle type of relationships, I know for myself, I go into obsessive thinking, like I think about them too much because it's such an intense energy, right? And that's actually a repulsion energy when you think too much of the other person. So divine feminines, you're being asked to be vulnerable during this full moon cycle. Say what you need, what you want. You've already put in your order, but surrender it. So practicing surrender however you can. Surrender is not a bad thing by any means. Vulnerability and surrender are two of the strongest manifestation tools that you could ever have. When you're vulnerable enough to say what you really need, that is a strength. Notice the beings that are in this card. You've got this beautiful dragon, you've got a dragonfly, you have all of the elements here and the sacred geometry and the flowers opening up that looks kind of like a lotus. Oh, they are lotus. Okay. And if you watch the shorts, today's crown chakra, and so lotus is really important, so do look that up. Okay, lotus grows out of the mud, and it's treasured. And so with this, what they're showing me is that in this soulmate cycle, your two keys, divine feminine, that's going to really, the crystal keys that are going to bring forth the life energy for you, are vulnerability and surrender. Okay, and so doing your full moon ritual, however you do that, I have a full moon meditation on my playlist. I would highly recommend just going through that guided meditation so that you can do your ritual, but also add the energies. Remember, where two or more are gathered, their sources with you. Do your ritual and then let it go. Go do something fun. Go get active, all right? Penny and I are sitting in the parking lot at the beach right now. So right after I give this message, we're going to go for a walk, okay? Getting your body active, divine feminine, is going to help you to release the kind of mental, you know, I'm going to say it this way, mind fuck that we do to ourselves over the person that we are really vibing with, interested in, that is our soulmate companion. This is going to help you to move forward with that, okay? And move forward in such a way where you're activating your body structure rather than it all being mental, because we want to facilitate having the correct partner for you in the 3D, rather than fighting as these Mina birds are fighting one another, okay? Rather than fighting the flow, okay? So go with the flow. April's theme is go with the flow. That includes your soulmate cycle. But let's really get into it, okay? I'm shuffling, and we're talking here. All right, we're going to look at the nature of your connection in the 3D. We're going to look at, we're going to look at your overall energies. We've got the overall energy of what's being suggested in the spiritual realm. Okay, we're going to look at your overall energies. We're going to look at the 3D and the soul. And then we're going to look at messages from the universe and any and all possible action steps that your person has for you. Okay, I like this spread It's from Steve's Love Tarot. He is amazing. So, you know, if y'all are into watching the tarots, I like his approach. So, he didn't know nothing about me. I just enjoy watching him. So, neither one of us are like fairyland with it, right? So that's a good thing. All right, let's look at what is the connection, the overall energies right here on this full moon. Okay, Eight of Wands. All right, ordinarily I would say this is forward movement and communication. There is a little bit of an energy that's kind of a hold back energy. We're going to look farther into that and clarify, because underneath the overall energy here is the Tower. So I do feel like in April there is surprise, and there is surprise connections that are happening. But we do have 3D free will that's attached to this. So it does feel like there's incoming communication. We're going to look deeper because there is something there that's telling me. I'm going to clarify with the hidden Tarot of the Hidden Realms, okay? Because I want to see, why is this Eight of Wands here? It is shocking. I do feel like your person is having a wake-up call, okay? They are having a bit of shock. They are having a bit of, what am I doing with my life? Because the feeling that I'm getting is, what am I doing with my life? Why have I rejected my person? Because it feels like most of you that are watching, your person's either rejected you, or you've been in a situation where they've not fully committed, or they're not talking to you, and there's this like push and pull inside that I'm feeling with your person, okay, on the masculine energy. It's primarily masculine energy. Okay, with this Eight of Wands, why is the Eight of Wands here? King of Wands, there it is. Okay, so they're coming through as the King of Wands. This is why I'm saying I'm not sure if they will communicate, because while King of Wands is a king, the King of Wands is wants things their way. They often cannot see another side of the story or another opinion, and so your person's still coming through as a bit stubborn. And that's why I'm saying some of you are likely to get communication, but not all, because there's still this stubbornness that's happening. They still want it their way. They haven't fully moved to compassion, or fully moved to, they know you're the one. They know that your value, but they still want to be right. So there's still ego attached to this communication. So if they do come in, they'll likely say things in such a way that are not so how can I say that are not so elegant. Okay, all right, let's see. And why is this King of Wands here? Six of Swords. Okay, so they do want to make it better. The energy around this Six of Swords is they really do want to come towards you. They want to have this forward movement. I am saying that it'll be a percentage of you guys that they actually do come forward, because there is still some pride on this, okay? He's still looking kind of in the other direction. Now she's looking up to Spirit. He's still kind of in contemplation, thinking about his own thing. But there is a desire to communicate, okay? So that's the energy around the connection, okay? So many of them are going to communicate, and some are not. Some are going to let the pride get the better of them. And there's nothing we can do about free will choice. You just go ahead and continue to be your Empress self. Continue to be about you, okay? All right, what's their, what's playing out in the 3D? What's happening there? Knight of Pentacles, okay. So they are investing in you. We have Eight of Cups at the bottom of that, crossing the Knight of Pentacles. All right. They are making their way towards you. It is slow and steady. My God, this energy is slow. They mean it, okay? Your people do mean it. They do. There is an energy here where they understand your value. And they understand that they want to be with you, but they're not even on the horse yet. That's why I said with this Eight of Wands, there is communication, but some of them are holding back. This is why. In the 3D, they're being very slow. They may be inundating you with energetic and dreamtime communication, but not all of them are going to be out here giving the outer communication. But I will say that those that do offer something, I do feel like it'll be a small something. This isn't a, I'm going to confess my ever-dying love, you know, I mean, maybe, but that this is more of an energy of, you know, I'm going to offer something. Those that do show up, it might be small, but know that it's valuable. They have thought about it. They want to build a solid foundation with you. Why is this Knight of Pentacles here? Hierophant. So universe is just backing me up. I felt the energy first. They want to build a solid foundation with you. Hierophant is the solid foundation. It's the Pope. It's the step by step, go by the rules. The person that you'll marry, it is over marriage contracts, and the energy that I get off of this is one step at a time. I also feel like your person in the 3D may have some sort of mentor or some sort of person that's helping them with the pace. Not all of them are that in tune, but those that are a little more awakened and do have a mentor, they're helping them pace things out in such a way so that they can build a good foundation with you, because there does seem to be some really intense energies in this soulmate cycle. And so so they are definitely they are building with you. It's just really slow. So many of you may feel vulnerable. You may feel like you need to surrender up this relationship, and if you have to, that's okay, because in the 3D they are being a bit slow. The Hierophant comes with the Ten of Cups. They do see your value. Now, Ten of Cups can sometimes be fantasy land, but in this one, I'm not feeling that. I'm feeling like if you look at these two pictures, they are looking at each other. Divine Feminine's doing her witchy kind of thing, and the Divine Feminine is absolutely working on manifestation of their person, and their person's working on being with them. Okay? This side, the masculine side's going kind of logical. They're going step by step. And this side's going more intuitive. Dream time. Okay, so you guys together both want the same thing. So that's the main thing I'm getting off of this card, is the energy is you both want the same thing. They're a little slower about it. And this full moon energy is helping them to see their values and to balance things out, because they showed me the scales of justice. So I don't have a justice card here yet, but they're showing me the scales of justice. So they're wanting to come into this. Let's look at their soul. What's going on in the soul here with your person? What's going on in the soul? Two of Cups. Okay. So in their heart, in their soul, they want to be in union. I'm also getting an energy off this card because I'm feeling kind of antsy about it. That's why. It's crossed by the Seven of Pentacles. Okay, they are really trying to figure out how to invest, how to be there with you, how to move this forward. Okay, so with this Two of the Cups and the soul, this is a good sign. They're wanting to balance themselves. That's what we were just talking about with balance with the Libra full moon here. Okay, they're wanting to balance themselves out and pour into your cup and their cup and vice versa. Okay, the desire is there. And I say the desire is there because I'm still not feeling a huge spurt of movement yet. I am feeling like maybe end of April or right before the next full moon, I'm feeling action there. But for this particular moment, this first couple of weeks or right after this full moon, I still feel like a holdback, okay? But in their soul, they are coming to a recognition, from what I can see here, of y'all's union. What else is in the soul? Tell me why this Two of Cups is here, Spirit. Ten of Pentacles. Okay, they really feel with you that they can have the whole thing, all right? Ten of Pentacles is one of my favorite cards in the deck because it says that you have your physical needs met and your emotional needs met, okay? So this is a very, very positive thing. In the soul here, your person is seeing, okay, with you and by partnering with you, they can have everything. They can have the love, they can have the money, they can have the everything. So they have been getting the epiphanies. Why is this Ten of Pentacles here? The Magician. All right, your person is definitely in manifestation mode. There is a teensy bit of manipulation energy there, okay? Because it's feedbacking off of this King of Wands. So they haven't fully matured out of being in a position of being in full magician mode, but they have taken a step within themselves, in their soul. They are manifesting you. Okay, there's just a slight energy that is a little bit manipulative, but that's okay. I feel like in the feminine side, there's also that slight energy too, because when you're manifesting, the manifestation is really about you changing you, to be the version of yourself that is the wife, or that is the long-term partner, or that is the lover. And sometimes we're trying to change the masculine or the feminine outside of us, instead of inside. So both parties have that. You're tuning into your manifestation properties. They said look at the bottom. Yeah, Seven of Wands. Okay, so there's a little bit that's held back, but this is saying, you know, you're persevering, you're moving forward, you're defending what you have already made. So there is a little bit of defense energy here, but it's a positive one, you guys. So really beautiful soul energy. What does the universe want us to know? What's that next energy here? What does the universe want us to know about this connection? Nine of Cups. Okay, and that's crossed by the world. Wow, you guys. All right, April, this full moon energy is bringing about a lot of change. This energy from the universe is saying, look, you're correct. You've made your wish. You've made your, with this soulmate cycle, you have made your request and you're jumping towards it, okay? As is your person. They are finishing up a cycle. Some of y'all's people have, because they just showed me, some are married or some have someone else. Now, am I saying they're breaking up with them this instant? No. Okay, but they are ending a cycle here. The world is one of the biggest cards of change. There it is. They said, look at the next card, Justice. So I was just saying, this Libra full moon is balancing things out and you're coming into justice. I said I didn't have a justice card on the table yet, but I could feel it. Here it is, okay? And it comes after this world card. So this full moon is really, what universe is saying is really shaking people up, and it's shaking your person up to move into the next phase, to end a cycle. The world ends a cycle and begins another one. It's big time. They're also saying too, if you guys live far apart, if for the ones that reach out, remember it does feel like, I mean, I'm getting like 50-50 here, because some of them still have that kind of chicken out energy going on. It's, can they get over their ego, right? But for the ones that reach out, they're likely to do it via the internet or text at first rather than a phone call. It'll move into a phone call, but they'll reach out online. So you may notice them kind of show back up online. Some of you, it's an email. That's really interesting. It's like, but they're just going to try to communicate with you that way. All right, universe. Why is this Nine of Cups here? Why? Okay. There we go. Knight of Swords. All right. So again, quick communication and forward movement. I'm seeing this. They said, look at the hawk. Okay. So the suggestion for you from the universe is to take a higher perspective. I do feel like your person with this full moon is getting a higher perspective. Why is this Knight of Swords here? The world again. My goodness, things are about to change, y'all. So I have to give the energy. Okay. Oops. Hopefully I don't get banned for that, because that's got, you know, they've got all these censorship rules now. So let me show you this world card differently. There we go. Okay. And so, yeah, it's about to change. So universe is letting you know the additional messages. There is a cycle for both of you guys that's ending and a new one beginning. So let it be new. Please go with the flow, because this energy is a little bit clunky. I'm not going to lie. All right. The energy that I'm feeling with this is they may come forward and communicate with you, but it may not be the most elegant, or they might say things the wrong way, or they might tell you a little bit, but they're not quite ready yet. You know, like, you're in the process of change. Okay. And because you're in the process of change, just do know, go with the flow. However they come to you, just be loving and in that new energy, because there is big change that's happening. To get two worlds on the same card, hey sweetie, to get two worlds on the same Nine of Cups, all right, you're about to have that change. And for some of you, I'm going to be really honest, like, if it's not your runner, it's going to be somebody else that shows up, because this is a huge cycle shift. And that's why I'm saying with the communication from the runner, I've got 50-50, but I have you with a partner. That feeling is here, like here, right here, right now. And I don't feel like you're expecting it, because remember our overall energy, remember the overall energy is one of the Tower. Okay. And so that is a big deal. Next, we're going to look at possible actions in the 3D world. Okay, let's get to it. What's their person? The soulmate cycle. Show me, universe, what they're possible. And I say possible and probable because we cannot predict free will. Okay, people have their choices, and we can't make them come forward. But let's look at what their possible action is. We have Five of Pentacles, crossed by the Ten of Swords. All right, and don't feel bad about this. This is actually good. Their possible action, they are in regret. They are seeing their actions. Okay, so this is an energy that does end up propelling people into action. Okay, it does end up propelling those into an action state, because notice on this Five of Pentacles, your person and you may feel kind of left out in the cold after interacting with each other the way that you have. But notice the golden key is available. All they have to do is pick it up and put it in the lock. Ten of Swords says nines are completion. Tens are the completion that lead to the new beginning. And because we have from the universe two world cards, there is this propulsion forward. Okay, let's look. What's their possible actions? Why is this Five of Pentacles here, universe? Eight of Swords. Okay, so they are in their head. This is the energy from earlier where I was feeling that even though there's this beautiful quick communication for most of you, and in the card situation, there's basically an energy here of holding back. This is the energy of holding back. So they're really thinking about it. Why is this Eight of Swords here? The Empress. Okay, so they do recognize, like I said earlier, that you are the one. They recognize that you are the one they would like to move towards, but they are definitely in their head about it. They're thinking about all the ways in which they have had some regret, all the ways in which they maybe haven't shown up appropriately, but it definitely is coming forward as an energy here that their likely actions, again, it's that 50-50. And this is why, because I knew they were overthinking. I could feel that in the beginning with the really quick communication energies. They're likely to see you. Some of them will communicate because there was a random sun on the bottom earlier. Some of them will communicate because they'll just get over themselves. Many of them will be lost in thought during this full moon cycle. Okay. But they are changing, is what Spirit's saying. So this is an energy of forward movement, even though it doesn't look like an energy of forward movement. So that's their likely actions. Let's take a couple of cards to add it all up, because I know these are going a little bit long, but I like to go in depth, especially when we're talking about the soulmate cycle and the energies around that, okay? All right, universe, add up all the energies here and let me know. So what I'm feeling like is this is one of those times where they're getting their aha moments, as are you. It feels like the energy coming off of the Divine Feminine here continues to be Empress energy. You showed up as the Empress after I talked about that earlier. Okay, so you keep doing you. You are on the right path. If you're the Divine Feminine or identify as the Divine Feminine in your relationship, you are on the right path here, as is your person. They're just in the space of it's time for them to come to you. This isn't about you coming to them. And so, yeah, hold with it. Go with the flow, because the communications that do come in may be a little rocky, right? It's like they're showing me like a friend of mine. He is the most loving man, but he's also very straightforward, right? And so sometimes he will mean things as a compliment, but they won't sound like a compliment because he doesn't deliver them in that way. And so be true to your star player and know who you are, because they're going to be meaning it in a positive way, but nerves are in play here, okay? And there is a little bit of regret. Many of them are feeling like, I should have made a move sooner. I should have never left. I should have, like, they're having a lot of shoulds. And when we do that to ourselves, it just creates like a mental battle. And so, so we're moving on with that. Pampered Princess, we're talking about the soulmate cycle. This will be uploaded, and you can watch from the beginning. So, all right, here we are, you guys. And then anybody wanting to know specifics about their specific person, you're welcome. In the what do they call that, y'all? In the box below, description box below, is all of my information to get a private reading. Okay, here we go. Add it up, universe. That was a lot of talking. The world. All right, y'all. Third world. Okay. That we've gotten here. The third world card, not third world, right? So, big cycle changes, okay? Things are going to be different this cycle. We have Five of Wands. They are in conflict in their head about this. Okay, this is positive. For those of you that someone's got another person, they are realizing that they need to make a move. They need to make differences. Five of Wands is a really small energy. It's kind of like the inner critic. It's the, okay, we need to figure out how to work as a team here. It's the, this is the catalyst. All fives are change. There's a catalyst that's coming. And we have Queen of Cups, and it's because of your love, okay? And then crossing that is at the bottom, we have the Emperor. So your person's moving from King of Wands into Emperor energy. You're in Empress energy. You're also coming out as the Queen of Cups, which is the most love in the deck. Because you are holding the most love and you are flowing that to yourself, to them, it's causing them to make the changes so that a world card can so you can make the big change. The world is a really big change. Some of you, not all of you, are moving to a whole new location, okay? And it might be surprising. That's a side note, but they just brought it in here because there's a seal on the world cards. So definitely if you're long distance, you may be seeing this person, or you might just be moving to a whole new place by the end of this moon cycle. But Spirit's adding this up because of your love, because you're different, They are making the changes. Now, we already looked at all the rest of them. They said one more underneath. Okay, so we have the Emperor and we have Page of Wands. There's communication that's wanting to happen here. All right, new spark. This is a really new energy. I do think that about 50% or so of your people will communicate with you directly. Others of you are going to start something completely new. You're going to say, I'm done with this cycle and I'm going to move in. Like the Divine Feminine's attracting soulmates no matter what. So you may move to a different person. That's not for all of you. But I feel like about 50% or so will get communication, because the stubbornness, because there's a little hold back and overthinking in the actions is why. But all of your people are seeing your value, your worth. They're definitely wanting to be with you. It's just a matter of whether they will get the courage up to make the communications and make the changes. But the change is in the air. We've got Five of Wands underneath here and the Three of Swords. Both of those things, okay, the heartbreak energy, the regret, the overthinking, both of those things yields a person to make the changes they need to make. So all in all, for this soulmate cycle, for the full moon energies, how it's working, you're an Empress energy. You have been Divine Feminine, keep showing up that way on my reads. They keep showing up on other readers' reads that I tune into. So we're all getting the same energy here for the Divine Feminine, that you all are showing up in Empress energy. You're moving into that leadership and thriving time, and that your Divine Masculine of your connection is in change mode. They know they have to change or they're going to lose you. Any way it goes, the Divine Feminines in this cycle are going to end up with, if you let it flow, you could miss it, okay? Like, we have free will, but they're going to end up with the person who is a soulmate to them. You're attracting soulmates. In this particular full moon cycle, to wrap it up, looks like there is a possibility of communication if they can get over themselves, all right? If they can get over their inner battle and struggle and their ego. But all in all, it looks like a good 50% of them will come forward, because there is such a push from the universe with 3 world cards. I've never seen that before in a reading. That's huge. Okay, this is big changes. So no matter what, Divine Feminines, which is most of the people that I read for, y'all are going to go through some big changes. We had a Tower as the overall crossing energy. This is a good Tower. It feels like happy surprises. It feels like things turning on a dime into a much better cycle. So well done, you guys. Very exciting. And your people, they're getting it. The Divine Masculine are getting it. Spirits got you. And they are learning their lessons. What they do with it, we can't control that. But they are learning their lessons, and this full moon is helping to balance out the energy for you guys, okay? So you, this may look like a feeling of relief. I do feel like you have happy surprises coming in, and many of you will have communication. Some won't, because the stubbornness, just to be honest, there is a stubbornness and an ego in a good portion of your people that I'm not feeling like they'll get over themselves in this time frame, but it doesn't mean that they won't moving forward, right? So that's what I have for you. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Love you all, and until next time, aloha.